Okay, this is the muscles of the face and the skull. The buccinator is right here, this little area, not this, but this right here. That is the buccinator. This is the frontalis. This is the mentalis right here, just a little chin area. The occipital, or yeah, occipitalis is right here on the back of the skull. The orbicularis oris is the muscles above the lip right here. The orbicularis oculi is around the eye. Then we have the zygomaticus major and then minor. So the major is on top and the minor, the major's on bottom and the minor's on top. Then we're gonna have the temporalis, which is all this right here. And then the masseter is this part right here, this big part. And then this big like neck muscle right here is the sternocleidomastoid. And then we're gonna go and bring the little man right here. And this is the pectoralis major, but underneath that is the minor. So underneath right here. Then we have the serratus anterior right here. The little squiggly lines, sharp ones right there. Then we have the latissimus dorsi on the back, which is these muscles right here that branch out. Then the trapezius is this like triangle formed muscle area. Then we're gonna turn them back around, and this is the external obliques. The internal obliques will be right here. If I can get it off. It'll be like kind of number 10 inside, so you have to take off this part. Then we're gonna have the rectus abdominis, which is all this right here.
This part right here is the buccinator. The frontalis is here. This part right here is the mentalis. The occipitalis is here. This little part. The orbicularis oris is here, the lips. And the orbicularis ocular, this is the eye part here. The zygomatic minor is the lower part. This is the zygomatic minor, and this is the zygomatic major, the top part here. This is the minor, I'm sorry. This is the zygomatic minor, and this is the zygomatic major. Okay, and this side over here is the temporalis. The masseter is here, this part, and then the sternocleidomastoid is the neck. And then we have the pectoralis minor. This is here. The serratus anterior is the side. This is the side over here. Then we have the latissimus dorsi. That's the back part here. The trapezius is the diamond shape. The external obliques is the side of the stomach. On this side, this is the external obliques. And then we have the internal, which is the inside. I can't take it off. It's the inside, and it's like number 10. It's on the side. I don't see 10, but it's on the side, the inside. And then we have the rectal abdominis is the stomach.
We have the muscle or the head. So we have the buccinator, which is right here. You have the frontalis right here. You have the mentalis is right here. Then occipital is right here at the back. Then you got the orbicularis oris right here. You got the orbicularis oculi right here. Then at the lower, you have the zygomaticus major. You have the zygomaticus minor. And then you have the temporalis, which is this area right here. Then you have the masseter, which is this area. Then on the neck, you have the, right here, this area right here, it's the sternocleidomastoid. Then we go to the middle man right here. And you have the pectoralis minor, which is underneath the pectoralis major. Then you have the serratus anterior, which is this area, the knife shape, kind of. Then you flip them around. You have the latimus dorsi. Dorsi is right here. In this area, the trapezius. Then you turn it back around. You have the external obliquus, which is right here. Then underneath it, you have the internal oblique. And then this area right here is the rectus abdominis.
Okay, this right here, number 9, that's the anterior commissure. Then we have the cerebral cortex, which is just the lining of the brain. Not the gray matter, but like the lining of the brain. Then we have the cerebral hemispheres, and if you're looking at the brain this way, this is the left and this is the right cerebral hemispheres. Then we have the corpus callosum, which is this whole thing right here. And then we have the fornix, number 12. The fornix is right here. The internal capsule is right here, this top one, number 15, just this little part right here. Then we're gonna label all the lobes. And this is the frontal lobe. This is the occipital lobe in the back. This is the parietal lobe, not this part, but like kind of this little side area. Then we have the temporal lobe. And the insula is also part of the lobe, right here, number 14, but you can't see it because the brain, when it's closed, you can't see it. Then we have the precentral, this one's better, sorry. Where is this? Then we have the precentral gyrus, number 6, right here, and not this little indentation, but the actual brain part. Then we have the postcentral gyrus, which is number 7, right here. Then we're gonna have the, sorry if I could find all the numbers. The septum pellucidum. Septum pellucidum is number, where is it at? Where's 11? Let me see. Oh, here it goes. Sorry. So this is the septum pellucidum, something like that. The arbor vitae is kind of just like the tree of life. It's just basically this stuff right here. Then we have the vermis, which is, you basically can only see it, like, it's really just when the brain is like stuck together, and it's like a little like ball like inside of here somehow, something like that. Then we have the hypothalamus, which is number 21. This little area is the hypothalamus. The mammillary bodies is number 24, the really small one right here, this little circle. Then we have the pituitary gland, which is on this brain right here. This little ball that kind of comes out, that's the pituitary gland. Then we're going to go back to this one, and we have the thalamus, which is 19, which is this big one right here. Then we have the medulla oblongata, which is number 37, which is this right here. Then the midbrain is just the whole, it's basically like this little itty bitty part right here on the brainstem, where this little hole is at. This is where the area is. Then the pons are going to be right here. These are the pons, and there's another one, but this is just one of them. This is a pond number 36. And then the Coropra quadrigonema is right here, but then you have the superior colliculi, which is this top part, and then the bottom of number 31 is the inferior colliculi. And then we have the choroid plexus, which is going to be, if I can find it. Oh yes, okay. The choroid plexus is these red and blue right here. These little like vein looking things. Then we have the cerebral aqueduct, which is basically like, this is part of it, but you can really only see it when the brain is closed together. It kind of looks like a wing inside of the brain. And then we have the central sulcar, which is, oh, you can see better on this brain. Number 5, this is the central in this line right here between the post-central and the pre-central gyrus. So this right here is the central sulcus. The lateral sulcus is like kind of right here, which separates the parietal and the temporal lobes. And then we have the longitudinal fissure, which is right here, this long one, and the transverse cerebral fissure is right here. And that's it.
Okay, this is the anterior commissure, the cerebral cortex, the outside, like the gray matter outside, the cerebral hemisphere, the right and left. This is the left and this is the right. This is the right, left, and this is the right. I'm sorry. This is the left and this is the right. I'm doing it by my arm. Okay, the corpus callus. This is the corpus callus here. Okay, and the fornix. 11. I'm looking for it. Number 12. I don't see it. Oh, right here. Okay, that's the fornix. And then the corpus, the internal capsule is here. And the lobes, okay, the frontal lobe, this is the frontal lobe. And then the insula, this is part of it there. Insula, whatever, how you say that. The occipital lobe is the back here. Then you have the parental lobe is here, and then the temporal lobe is here. Okay, and then you have you have the pre-central gyrus, which is here, and this is the post-central gyrus here. Number 11 is out there. Okay, and then you have the septic. I can't say that. Septum pellucidum. Then you have the arbor. You have the arbor virtue, anyway, the tree of life. Then you have the vermis. Okay, you have the vermis when you put it together. Where's my other brain? Anyway. The vermis, when you put it together. The vermis here. And then you have the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus, let me find it. The hypothalamus here. You have the hypothalamus, the mammillary bone body, the mammillary body. I can't say. Mammillary body is number 20. Okay, mammillary body is the number 20 right here. The pituitary gland is the pink ball. Let me see. I'm gonna show you here. Right here. This is the pituitary gland, and then you have the thalamus here. You have the thalamus right here. Medulla oblongata is the stem, the brain stem. Here, the midbrain you have here. There. Okay, this is the midbrain, the little part here. The pons, this is the pons. And you have the superior top of the brain. Top of the brain, you have the superior. Okay. And the inferior. So you have the superior and the inferior here. And then you have, oh my God, 17, you have the cord plexus. Oh, this is the cord plexus. And the cerebral abduct, when you put them together, it's the inside, when you put the brains together. The central sulcus, number 5. Here, this is the central sulcus. Then the lateral. This is the lateral sulcus and the longitude transverse, which is when you put them together. I can't put it together. Anyway, the longitude is the line here. This is the longitude. The transverse is in the back, across here. The precentral.
This right here is the anterior commissure. Then you have the cerebral cortex, which is this area right here. And you got the cerebral hemispheres. This is the left. This is the right hemisphere. Then you got the okay. Then this one right here, you got the corpus callosum. Then you have the fornix, which is right here. Then you have the internal capsule, which is up here. Then you have the lobes, which is, this is the frontal lobe, this is the temporal lobe, this area right here is the parietal lobe. At the back, you have the occipital lobe, and then number 4 right here, you have the insula, which is part of the lobe too, but it's hidden once it's together. Then you have the precentral lobe, which is right here. Then you have the postcentral gyrus. And then you have the septum pellucidum, which is right here, this area right here. And when you go to the cerebellum, you have the orbital vitae. Then you have a vermis, and it's together, and it's like a ball-like structure, and it's connected. And then you have the hypothalamus, which is right here. I'm pointing at. Then you have the mammillary body, which is the little bitty area right there. And then you have the pituitary gland, which is this area right here, this little ball-like structure. Then you have the thalamus, which is right here. And then you have the intermediate mass of the thalamus, which is right there. Then you have the medulla oblongata, which is this area. Then the midbrain is this whole little area right here. Then you have the pons, which is this area where number 36 is at. Then you have the corpora quadrigemia, which is this area. Then at the top is the superior cochlea. At the bottom you have the inferior cochlea. Then you go to back to this area. Then the red and blue lines right there is the choroid plexus. Then the cerebellum aqueduct is the area like in here when you put all the brain together. Then you have the central sulcus, which is this area right here. Then you have the lateral sulcus, which is this area right here. And then you have the fissures, which is the longitudinal fissure right here in the middle. Then you have the transverse cerebral fissure right there.
Okay, the biceps brachia is supposed to be right here, but we're actually missing it on this model, but it is right here connected. Then we have the brachialis, which is right here, number 14. Then your deltoid, right here. Then the supraspinatus is this part in right here, the inside of the shoulder blade, and then the outside, which is right here, number 7. This is the infraspinatus. This little bitty muscle right here, labeled number 8, that's the teres minor. And then the teres major is number 9, the bigger one on the bottom. And then the triceps brachii is all of this right here, basically, all of this. So it's not the front of the arm anymore, it's the back of the arm. And then we have the brachioradialis, which is right here, because it leads down to your thumb, and your thumb is connected to the radial bone. Then we have the flexor carpi radialis, which is number right here, which is kind of like the back of the arm. So we have right here is the flexor carpi radialis. This one is the flexor carpi ulnaris, which connects to the pinky, so it's all right here. We have the palmaris longus, which is 24 right here, kind of just in this little area. Not this, but this part right here. And then we have the extensor carpi radials, which are 20 and 21. Those are the extensor carpi radialis. And then the extensor digitorum is right here. Just this little area right here.
Okay, right here, number 11, you have the biceps brachii. And then right here, you have the brachialis. And then number 10 right here is the deltoid. And then you have the supraspinatus right here. Then you flip it around. Number 7, you got the infraspinatus. You got the teres major right here. The teres minor. And the bottom, you have the teres major. And then 16, 17, 18 right here is the triceps brachii. And then you have the brachioradialis, which is right here. Number 19, this area right here. And then you have the flexor carpi radialis right here. Then you have the flexor carpi ulnaris. And then this area right here, number 24, the palmaris longus. And then you flip it around and you have 20 and 21 is the extensor carpi radialis. And then you have your extensor digitorum, which is this area right here, number 30.
This is the bicep brachia. The brachialis is here. The deltoid is here. The supraspinatus is here. The infraspinatus is here. The teres minor is here. The teres major is here. The tricep brachia. Oh, this is the tricep brachia. Here, this is the tricep brachia. The brachia is right here. This is the brachioradia. The flexor corpora radius is here. And the flexor corpus annus is right here. And then you have the palmus longus is here. The extensor corpora radius is 2021 here. 2021. Then you have the extensor digital is right here.
This right here is the gluteus maximus, and then this is the gluteus minor. The gracilis is going to be right here. This long one right here. This is the gracilis. The sartorius is the skinny one right here, the long one. The Achilles tendon is right here. Adductor longus is number 26 right here. It's right in between the sartorius and the gracilis. Then we have the adductor magnus, which is right here. This one right here. We have the biceps femoris, and that's just this one right here. Not both, just this one. And then we have the semitendinous, which is the one on top, number 30. And then the semimembraneous is the one underneath, kind of right here, if you can see this little area. Then we have the iliopsoas, which is in here, kind of underneath this, right here. Then we're going to have the gastrocnemius, which are these two things. Not the Achilles, but this right here. Then we have the solus, which is underneath this one. If I could get it off. It'll be this one right here. And then we have the tibialis anterior, which is this muscle right here. Okay, this right here is the rectus femoris. This is the vastus lateralis right here, and this side is the vastus medialis. The vastus intermedius is just underneath all this. And then you have the fibularis longus, which is this big one right here.
Right here, we have the gluteus maximus, and then we have the gracilis, which is right here. Then you got the sartorius, which is right here. And then you have the Achilles tendon, which is right here, number 10. Then you have the adductor longus, which is number 26 right here. Then you have the adductus magnus, which is this area right here. Then you have the biceps femoris, which is this area, this side. And then you have the semitendinosus, which is right here. Then you have the semimembranosus, which is right here, and also right here. Then you have the iliopsoas, or however you pronounce that, right here underneath the sartorius. And then you have the rectus femoris, which is this area right here. And then you have the vastus lateralis, which is right here. Then you have the vastus medialis right here. And then the vastus intermedius is underneath this area right here. Then we go back down to the lower leg or the ankle. You have the fibularis longus, which is right here. Then you have the tibialis anterior, which is this area. And then you go back around. You have the gastrocnemius, which is the calf muscle area. And then the soleus is underneath this, the gastrocnemius, and this right there.
Okay, this here is the gluteus maximus. Okay, this Right here is the gracilis. This is the serratorius right here. The Achilles is here. Adductor longus is this is the abductor longus, okay, and this is the abductor magnus here, and then you have the biceps femoris. The biceps femoris here, and then you have the semitendis here. You have a semimembranous is right in here, off in the middle. Then you have the iliosis here. Then you have the rectus femoris is here, this one right here. You have the vastus lateralis here. The vastus medial is here. The vastus intermediate is inside here, you can't see it. Then you have the fibula longus, it's right here. You have the gastrocnemius, this part right here at the top. The soleus is on the inside, underneath here. And then you have the tibular inferior, which is right here.